Or I might have made it more foggy. Uh, what is good, my people, my peeps? Good morning, grand rising, all of the above. Okay, guys, the truth. Chosen ones, TIs, speak your truth. Speak the truth about your situation in your life and what is going on in every aspect. That is what I realize that they don't want to come out is the truth. Speak the truth. They don't want the truth to be heard. And that is why they are, surveillancing you, following you. I tried to upload a video last night several times, so it wasn't happening. So I realized that, you know, YouTube is messing, but YouTube always messes with our videos and tries to, stop our messages from going out to everyone. And what I realized is that that's okay. Keep going, keep pushing. So I'm gonna I'm gonna keep pushing on with this message because that is what I'm here to do. I'm here to bring the truth of my life and the message that people want to squash. Yesterday, when I was going to work, I did a video about modern, not modern women. That's the thing, they want to call us modern women. Um, hey, like they call us black folks and white folks. No, how about I'm switching up the narrative? It's so-called modern woman because that just is not making sense, and it only was fitting into a narrative that we all know Kevin Samuels put out there, and now you have people of Kevin Samuels. Stature, idealism, and all of that, perpetuating that talking points, those narratives. So, I was talking about marriage and how marriage is a contract, a business arrangement. And I saw that you guys were talking, but I really didn't get a chance to answer any of the questions in the chat because I was driving. And so I want to just clarify some things with this narrative of you know men having multiple wives and the concubine situation and how they use that in today's society, and feeling that can happen, that's legal, that's lawful. Okay, I get that. My point that I'm trying to make as the so-called, and I won't do too many hand signs because people, my goodness, go back in your past and take pictures from 1985, literally, and use that against you. Wait, before I go into that, talking about the marriage and the concubines and all of that, let me say this while I'm speaking the truth about pictures people take and try to use against you. Pictures that have dates on them. Um, from when was those pictures taken that they try to use to slander? I think 2014 pictures that they used on the internet. Y'all saw the big hocus pocus, that the magic trick that was trying to go down. Pictures that were used in 2014 before I was even awoke to this truth, to what's going on in society. Holding up the peace sign, and that's what it was to me, the peace sign, right? I'm going to go back to what I was talking about before I got onto this. I just got sidetracked a few minutes ago because I would say we all have not been awoken at the same time, right? And it reminds me of people in the church. Like if you go to a regular mainstream church and you just found out about Jesus, and so you go to the church and then there's old elderly people or people that's been in the church all their life and they look down on you, right? And then they try to say something about something in your past that's your past. And if you are brought into the knowledge and the Most High wakes you up and gives you your mission here, then those people, those elderly people in the church are mad because you have been blessed with the gift that the Most High has given to you, right? So then they try to say, well, you can't do something because this person held up the peace sign in their pictures in the past, and we have pictures of that. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense because the Most High used drunkards, liars. The Most High used murderers to spread his message. You think I'm lying? Noah, wasn't he a drunkard? The Most High used him to save us because we wouldn't be here had Noah not built that ark. So you have to be wary of people who try to go into your past and dig up something that had to do with something that was in the past and nothing that was even utterly lawful. But I had to bring that out real quick. I just find that so idiotic to me how people do that, and then they have past of their own. You see what I'm saying? What did the Most High say? He without sin cast the first stone. Because he who is without sin cast the first stone. What did everybody do? Walk away. Because everybody's quick to bring up anything regarding you, but don't want to really uncover their past. And that's another thing about gang stalking. Guys and girls, if you are being gang stalked, we already know they know everything about you. Right? Hold on for a minute. We already know that they know everything about you. Everything. So, hello?
Thank you for your patience. I'll be with you in just a moment.
Okay. So, gang stalking, information that might be out there about you, your phone number, your house address, your bank statements, whatever. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it because we already know the setup is real. The setup is real. If they know you've led pretty much a lawful life right here on the planet, and they're going to try to do anything and everything first of all to get you to take yourself out. If they can't take you out slowly, because we know about radiation poisoning and all sorts of poisonings because they're trying to take you out, or put you in jail for setting you up.
What's the circuit then?
Yes. Can I get a grande caramel frappuccino? And that'll be it.
Yes, that is. Because I was going to come out to 5:58.
Thank you. So we already know that they're gonna do everything in their power to get you somewhere off this planet or locked up to muzzle you. Hell, they try to close your voice, shut down your voice here on social media. They don't want you to be heard. They don't want anybody to believe that even if you had a rough past, that you have changed your life. They don't want nobody to believe that. They don't want nobody to believe that you had a pretty decent past coming up. So they're going to try to flip that message, set you up. Guys, let me tell you what has happened. With my work computer, that's why when you see on my timeline if you go on my video, and that's the timeline I'm referring to, there's videos of my work that I have that are locked because I knew the setup was real when I first started coming into the awareness of being gang stalked or whatever. And so that's when I started taking videos, and I kept stuff. That's why I say document, document, document. Just like if you were in a job, just not knowing that you've been harassed or gang stalked, and you were having problems with a supervisor, you always would document the incident, what date, time, where the incident happened, right? Okay, trust and believe the truth is going to come out one way or another, however they think that they can stop it. Okay, they're going to try, but the truth is eventually going to come out. The veil is being lifted on all of their illegal activities. Their satanic devil that they worship is going down. Is going down. Okay? So always, as far as you can, or as much as you can, document. And I'm not saying you have to put every video that you take out here, but just document. Okay? Because they're gonna try to make you look bad. I mean, hell, even these men like Bill Cosby did a lot of great works. But in the end, when you done piss somebody off, because he pissed somebody off, right? Bill Cosby, the great black daddy of the times, from TV to comedy, did some dirt in his past, drugging women, right? Right? Yeah, we heard about that. Did they stop his ass when he was doing the drugging? No, they ain't stopped. They knew about it, didn't they? Yeah, they knew. No, when he pissed somebody off, that's when it was time to take him down, put him in jail. That is somewhat of what is going on with your gang stalking. And I'm not saying Bill Cosby was a righteous guy, but we, like I said, have all done something in our past. At first, I used to just watch from the sidelines on YouTube. And then I started, engaging, interacting. For some of you guys who are chosen ones or TIs, don't engage if you truly are not strong enough to withstand it. Thank you. To withstand the backlash. Thank you. The backlash of people not wanting you to be exactly who God made you to be. Okay? If you can't handle that backlash, don't engage with these people on social media. Watching them, you'll see them back one person 1 minute and then flip flop the next minute, or say somebody has devils and demons in them because they talk with their hands, but not talk about the fact that the Most High, when He said His commandments, He said no one should lie with man. Mankind should not lie with mankind. Womankind should not lie with womankind, meaning you shouldn't be gay. Okay? But you have people out here judging already, but not judging themselves. Do you hear what I'm saying? Judging already, but not judging themselves. Dibbling and dabbling in drugs, but not judging themselves, but judging other people. Come on, guys, we gotta do better. Quick, and now it's, to me, I'm realizing this really is just not about the truth. Really, it's really about whatever doctrine you're trying to push, whatever narrative you're trying to push, or just jumping on or jumping into a community just because, and then coming up with some type of narrative and spousing off within the community. Nothing really truly to help the community. Nothing. It's all about financial gain or along those lines. Because you can see that people who are chosen or TIs, even if they're struggling and trying to build up, say, their channel or something, and they're getting held back from doing that. and you can see that they're struggling, that they need that would help them in their day to day. That is truly a test, a testimony of who these people are. It's truly a testimony because if you are of the world, everyone would like you. Everyone would welcome you in. But if you are of the Most High's child, His family, you are going to be having these struggles. You're going to be having these struggles. And these imps and these Satan seeds out here, they are the only ones who find gang stalking and your turmoil and your struggle to be funny. They are the only ones. Because if they had to go what we go through, they wouldn't make it, guys. They absolutely would not make it. Hold on. Y'all walk with me real quick. These people would not make it. From them constantly draining your resources, making it hard for you to even live. Can't you see that you have traits of the Most High, Jesus, Yahweh Shai? Where's my camera holder? Can you see that you have traits of your family? Hold on for a minute. Let me put you guys down. I'll sit down for 1 minute. So I see why a lot of people have issues with believing in the Most High, because everything has been infiltrated, sabotaged, corrupted, everything. And I mean everything. We should already know that everything from the sky, the water, to your food. So it's truly about the discernment that you must have out here. So yeah, I sit back and I was looking, I was like, okay. There's a lot of judgment in the streets of how people should be, or who has demons and who doesn't have demons and this and that. But yet and still can't come to the conclusion of what they're dealing with. I've told you guys before, like, I've seen people's eyes, right, with their demons, and I told you that I was chased by demons, my battle. But on here, I've noticed people are battling with demons with their sexuality, but yet and still say how other people have demons because of their mannerisms. Are smoking weed and dabbling in all sorts of different practices but are calling people demons and witches and, but I have yet to hear how many warlocks are on here. Yes, warlocks. And when I say we, because people try to justify themselves and what they do, and they say it's a plant, right? Every form of medication, I just want to put this out here. If you want to go and research this, you may. Every form of medication derives from a plant. It doesn't derive out the clear blue sky. Let's just get that let's make that clear to anyone who understands that. Drugs don't just appear. Cocaine, we could say, is okay to take if you're a child of the Most High God. You know why we could say that? Because it derives from a plant, the poppy seed. Every drug derives from a plant. There are purposes for those plants. Just like here, the Most High put pigs on the planet. And they can have somebody can have the argument of, well, the Most High God created the pig, so I can eat the pig. No, He put it on the planet for a reason. It has a purpose. Not to make it into the purpose that you want. It has a purpose. The purpose being, it cleans the earth. It's the recycling center of the earth. Just like your lobsters, your crab, your shrimp are the recycling centers in the ocean to purify, to clean up the garbage. So you have people that will try to justify what they do, condemn others, and say they're righteous, all in the same breath. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Protection. Well, I'm going to speak on it. Protection. When Jesus, Yahushua, died for your sins, you know what He said was going to happen for your protection? He was going to send you the Comforter. That's your protection. The Comforter, the Holy Spirit. That's your protection. You prayed to the Father through the through Yahushua, when you're sending up, messages, when you need help, when you need more protection, when you need the God, the one and only God, to rain down fire from the third heaven. And let me tell you about the ultimate protection. The ultimate protection when you're going up against your enemies, and I've said this before about raining fire from the third heaven, or pouring coals on your enemy's heads. Kindness. Forgiving your enemies. You see, when I go up against my enemy or I'm in battle, the first thing I do is ask God to help me to forgive, because that's hard when you feel that you've been wronged, that you know that you did nothing wrong, only by expressing yourself. It's hard to forgive sometimes, but that is the ultimate protection. Yes. Praying for your enemies. Not turning into a gang stalker and sending out messages via your social media platforms to harass, stalk. No, you don't do that. You pray for them. You forgive them. You know why? Because the Most High is going to send more and more provisions your way. The protection your way. The forgiving that you give, and I know that it can be difficult. Trust me, my life has not been easy. That's why I chuckle when I see people's videos about my life, and they have no true understanding of it. Things taken from you? Yeah, that started early in life for me. So, when someone can take something physically from you, your body, they mishandle from you, come on. As chosen ones and TIs, we shouldn't care about this physical plane and everything in it. If you're still here and breathing, the Most High definitely has a mission that you must complete. Forgiving people. You see, and I know people hate this. They hate when I speak about the Bible, parables in the Bible. They don't like that. That's the misogynistic part of them that is coming out. The demons that they have yet to deal with. Because if we know anything about the last days, the Most High is going to be trying to gather and reach as many of his children as possible to wake them up. And just like he used a drunkard, just like he used many people who had disabilities, guess what? The Most High is going to use women as well. So when you hear men trying to suppress women's voices that are not even part of their organization, that are on a open application, ask yourself, what team are they really on? Are they really trying to gather the wheat from the tare, to wake up the dry bones? The people on this realm cannot tell you who the Most High God chooses to use in these last days. The manipulation of the message is real. So that brings me back to this parable about forgiving people. You see, there was a master who owed a debt to another master. He didn't have the funds to pay for that debt that he owed. But it was a large debt he owed his master. So he went to his master and he begged and he pleaded for forgiveness of the debt. Humbly, groveling, asking for forgiveness. Please, I'm sorry. Just forgive me. The master said, okay, I forgive you. See, this master was a great, mighty master. So he had people all over the land. He forgave the lower master, the younger master. Let's call him the younger master. The younger master went out back to his domain, his lands, his servants, and one of his servants had a debt owed to him, the younger master. But what did the younger master do? Got his boys, his bullies. Get him, bring him here, put him on his knees, beat him up. Where's my money? You owe me. Where's everything that you owe me? I need it now, the younger master said. The servant, Master, please, I'm sorry. I don't have the money to pay you. I can't, repay the debt yet. You can't? Beat him up some more. Put all of his business in the streets. Let them know who this person is. The servant begged and pleaded, while the thugs held the servant in front of the younger master as he groveled, as he begged, as he pleaded for forgiveness of his debt. The greater master had men all over the land. The greater master is always watching, is always present. The men of the greater master saw what the younger master was doing and went back and reported it to the greater master. The greater master summons the younger master back to his quarters, his castle. They hemmed up the younger master, just as he hemmed up his servant, and drug him back to the greater master. So now you see the younger master is standing in front of the greater master, and he's asking, did I not forgive you of your debts, your transpassing through everything that you've done in my service? Yes, master. Yes, yes, you did. But you couldn't forgive your servant. This lesson right here is to tell you the younger master was punished severely for him not being able to forgive, and how the Most High has forgiveness up here, ranked high. These people that are gang stalking and doing everything that they're doing, they're actually throwing coals on the fire on their own pit that they must go sit in when their end truly comes. So forgiveness is great. All of this judgment that people have on here without understanding the full story of anything, well, those people may still be immature in their discernment. So, you must have grace and forgiveness for those people as well. I was on my way to work yesterday, and I was telling a story. I'm pretty much telling a story, asking a question. Because within our community, within the Black community, we know that there is a blame game between men and women. and the fire is being stoked and it's getting hotter and hotter. And so I was asking about multiple wives and concubines, and if leaders are truly preaching and teaching this message with the ideal of building a nation, why is it that leaders are not presenting the full understanding of marriage and it being a contract, a business arrangement? And they're only focusing on the aspect of the man's benefit when they have women that listen and follow. You see, if you're teaching something, if you want if you want people to understand a message, just like if you were to read the Bible is the whole book, right? He comes in the full, complete book, not just the New Testament, not just the Old Testament, because some people just like to pick and choose. So, I'm going to say this. I'm going to be the so-called modern woman to speak, just like we are the so-called black people, the so-called Spanish people, the so-called white people. In this instance, I am the so-called modern woman. When I was speaking in that live stream, the word bondage and slavery came up with me and in the chat. When someone is preaching and teaching a doctrine of, multiple wives, and they pick and choose what they want to use out of the Bible. For instance, if we are royalty, in which we are, because we are the children of the Most High God. I am a daughter of Sarah, you see. And Sarah had handmaidens. And so last night I was trying to upload a video showing that, because see, we don't have the visual, because a lot of visual representation of black royalty or anything dealing with handmaidens, servants that would represent anything associated with black people, let me say so-called black people, is just now being dug up out of the books that were hidden in libraries. But we have leaders that are on platforms talking about multiple wives and concubines. But right now, I want to touch on the multiple wives. I stated that the multiple wives, where are their handmaidens? You see, because we are royalty. Do your research about royalty, because every aspect of royalty came from us. So when you see courts and the women of the courts, marriages, and you see your maid of honor and all the ladies that proceed behind your wife-to-be, where did that come from? Where did that originate from? You see, men who have a misogynist mindset don't understand that your wife is royalty as well. She has a royal bloodline flowing through her as well. So your handmaids that the whites had started in biblical times. Sarah offered her handmaid to Abraham, meaning her servant, the woman that helped Sarah run the household. Now you see, here's where the men are confused. Abraham was rich as well. He had many goats and sheep and lands to attend to, servants within his community. So we have men that are locked in to today's society in a regular house, but wanting to implement Bible practices. And the only way they want to implement those Bible practices is by viewing the woman of that house as only providing children, keeping the house up. And some of them expect the woman to go to work, take care of the baby, take care of it all. Because see, in their mind, they see only the physical house that they have around them in today's society. Because they're not looking at the whole picture. They're looking at it from the man's aspect of the picture. Sarah had no children. She had a handmaiden, though, who she offered to her husband because she wanted a baby. A handmaiden. And that was not the only handmaiden that she had, because they had lands, goats, people to feed, you see. Yes, Sarah is Abraham's helpmate, because you'll hear that be brought up when you hear people say or mention the handmaiden, mention help for the woman, as if the woman didn't have help, as if she did all of that on her own, which is simply not true. You see, we have to understand this is not trying to take anything away from the man. But when you look at a royal court, the king, the queen, or the princess, king, prince, however you call them, king, queen, handmaids and servants who are under her. King, knights and his men, his soldiers, his armies. If we are getting kingdom ready here on this planet that will be renewed, let's truly get kingdom ready. So when I mentioned handmaidens, oh yes, I think that ruffled some feathers. The woman is here as the helpmate. You see, we hear that when you hear women say the woman should have help. The woman will have help. She will have her servants, her own lands as well. We got to get out of that mind frame that we've all been in, that oppressive mind frame. If you can't view your wife as your helpmate and provide the things that should be provided for in a business transaction, and you only look at her as a factory, a baby factory, then maybe you do not have the maturity that is required to be married or have multiple wives. Maybe you are not at the level to provide for your wives or multiple wives if you cannot facilitate a handmaiden for her. Because if you're using biblical terms and biblical practices, facilitate them all. Because if the Bible was being written now, and I, for instance, were Sarah and not had a handmaiden, are you rewriting the Bible? Because you're supposed to study it in its entirety. Therefore, your queen, your wives, will have their servants. So when I broke it down in today's understanding of, does your wife have maid service? That's a shock, isn't it? Because that would be more money coming out of the husband's pocket if he truly wanted his wife to stay at home and take care of the household. Because, see, a lot of women that do that have more than one child. And even one child is a lot. To handle when dealing with the child coming into the world. Sleep deprivation, cleaning. It's a lot to be said just with one child. But if these kings that are proclaiming to be kings are going to look at the Bible in its entirety, then let's do that. Don't be upset because you must fully take care of your queen and provide her handmaiden. In the kingdom, she will have servants and handmaidens. So you should not be upset about that. Or are you upset because you're a misogynist and you only view the woman in one way only? And we all can figure out what way that is. If you're truly getting kingdom ready, prepare your women, prepare your daughters to be kingdom ready and know what to expect from their husbands. Because if you pass away, teach your daughter the business of marriage. And that has been lost here in this society, in the world that we live in, has been corrupted. Teach your daughter the business of marriage. They don't just walk into a marriage as a sexual object. It's a business. So yes, I say to you, did you provide handmaidens for these wives? Have you provided them with their homes? Or do you want them to be half in the world and half out of the world? Because you cannot provide the full world for your wife, for your wives. That's what I was speaking on. It's time to stop the blame game. And this is coming from a so-called modern woman. But that's another talking point for a later date. If we're raising up kings and princesses and queens, let's give them the full story of how we are to treat each other. So maybe today you might want to go onto the History Channel, or just Google courts and how they are arranged. Because one day, yes, one day soon, we all are going to have to appear in front of the highest court of them all. And the king that sits on that court is going to ask you how you conducted yourself down here, especially as leaders. I'm out, and much love. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't look at some of you guys' comments. There are no secrets here. Yes, they are testing us. Prison. That's right. With gang stalking, you shouldn't care about what people think. You should not care, because the thing is, what gang stalking is just a part of what the devil is doing as a copycat to what the Most High God has said. Because all of our sins will be revealed. All of our sins. So what the devil is doing is copycatting that very message by making whatever you've done in your life visible to whomever around you, and twisting it up and lying on you if it's not dirty enough, and if it's not a dark enough secret, you know. Oh, that's good. Journaling your attacks. That's right. Because I think I had told you guys, I actually, let's see, bought this is just a book, and it says, Trust Your Soul. The Dollar Tree, sure did, but it's just a sketchbook. So I told you guys, I had bought this probably now a week ago, that I need to draw my dream. So journaling is good, y'all. I am busted. Okay, let me see what else before I get out of here. Yeah, materialism. Who cares about this material world? Unless you're, I was going to say, a material girl. Yeah. Stepping into, I don't want people to like me. Yes. Demons hold people under control through sex. Yeah, that's why there's sexual rituals. That's why it's so much that goes along with sex, and people don't really understand that. And they, even in the Bible, it speaks on rape. And you see, rape is a form of murder. Yeah, rape is a form of murder. See, you're murdering that person's soul because you're taking something from that person. So rape, molestation, it's the same thing. And the consequences are death. But see, in our society, we have lightened that punishment. But the Most High sees all. you know, even with the I think it was a few years ago, but it's always been around about slipping Mickeys in people's drinks and knocking women out, and these are the weakest form of men that the Most High God has put on the planet. But like it said in the Bible, He creates good and He creates evil. These men are so weak that they must Mickey somebody, drug somebody, rape somebody. And they have a punishment that they cannot even imagine awaiting them. But they think they have gotten away. But they haven't. Not in the least. Blessings to you. Exactly. That was a peace sign back in the day. First of all, I've never been satanic or worshipped Satan. So, but when people are trying to make you look like something, you know, that was a peace sign. But it is what it is. Forgiveness is a process. Yes. It takes prayer. Yes, it does. Much prayer. Most High, faithful, and will give us the strength to forgive when speaking. Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to want to forgive, not be forced to forgive. You know, like when little kids are made to apologize, say you're sorry, nothing like that. It has to truly come from within, because I've always heard, like, if you are blessed enough to know right before you died, like the thief on the cross that was on one, I can't remember what side he was. I don't even think it specifies in the Bible what side one of the thieves on the cross was. And when Jesus was being crucified and about to die, and he looked over, he had been a thief all his life, out here thugging and just a thief. He looked over and realized, this is the Son of the Most High God, and asked for forgiveness right before he died. And Jesus said, you will be forgiven this day. You will walk in heaven. You see, heaven being this planet renewed. So that tells you the power of forgiveness and asking for forgiveness and seeking forgiveness. Without that, you may be lost when you're on your deathbed, or if you realize, I'm about to take my last breath, and ask for forgiveness and have not forgiven anyone. Be prepared, because as soon as you close your eyes and take that last breath, you will be in front of the Most High God in court. Verse really. Yeah, everyone will turn against you. What would you say? I started speaking out about the Illuminati music industry. Yes. I may accept my past and forgive myself. That's right. And forgive yourself. That's right. For things that you may have done that you feel that you need to forgive yourself. And that's the thing. You mentioned the Illuminati music industry. That is so ironic that when I got hired where I work at in radio, I knew nothing about the Illuminati. I knew nothing about any of the things that have come out since the late 20s, 2000s. And so I find it ironic that people try to use that as if I was part of, some plot and plan. And billions of people who work in different industries who have no clue that they might later in life be accused of being a
part of some plot and plan. Just like this modern woman epidemic that's going around. So this is a so-called modern woman speaking that now I'm a modern woman because my father raised me and my mother raised me to pursue a higher education when we were still brainwashed to think that that college degree meant something. But now that is the label that they give black women mostly with a college degree. It's ironic, I tell you. It really is. And it's almost absurd, but it is what it is. Soon they will be saying because you were a nurse around the time that the epidemic broke out that you were a deep cover plant who helped disseminate the virus. And, they'll put a spin on it if they want to actually try to destroy your reputation and who you are. So, yeah, I find it ironic that now the modern woman is, especially being in the black community, the evil aspect of society. And like I said, there's women and men who are in all aspects of life who do people dirty, who manipulate, who are evil, yes. But the message and the narrative that is being put out, if a woman that has a job, that is working, that has a career, is somehow masculine, is somehow not feminine, is somehow all of these negative things, where are you leading? I mean, I've yet to see the schools or the development centers that these men who are saying these things are having etiquette classes for women, that you are trying to switch that point of view. And see, in today's society, everyone is not going to have a husband because women outnumber men. So how are these women going to support themselves? Because on the other hand, with Kevin Samuels, he was talking about the system, the government system, and welfare and all this. So if these men who are on these platforms are talking about modern women, and the so-called modern woman has a job and can sustain herself, if you feel that that is the devil's doing of women working, how are these women going to sustain themselves without a husband and being on the system? Please, somebody answer this question. You have people just spouting off at the mouth with talking points of a man and wherever he got those talking points from, but without a solution. Without a solution for the women that you do not want them to work. Children grow up fast. Yeah, they grow up really fast. What is the solution for the young women that you do not want them to work in any of these so-called beast systems? Because, see, there's not Israelite businesses in every state, in every country. But your message goes far and wide, globally. But you have no solution. You have no solution. You have rhetoric. Where is the solution for the women that should be going to finishing school? See, you use things that were taught in royal courts. Finishing school is what you want to refer women to instead of jobs. But these men, they don't want to listen to women and what women have to say because they are pushing an agenda. Finishing school. Where is the finishing school for these young ladies that you don't want in the beast system? And how are they to sustain themselves when they don't come from a wealthy home, because a lot of them are going to be in the ghettos. A lot of them are going to be without fathers. Some of them will be without mothers. Some of them will be out in foster care without any parents. But they'll be listening to your message. How are these women supposed to sustain themselves without going into the beast system in today's time, 2022 and beyond, until the Most High returns? Where are your finishing schools? Where are your social support systems for these women while you're pushing this so-called modern woman epidemic and them working for the beast system? Where are the solutions? I'll wait. Yeah, that's exactly what they do in gang stalking, making your past seem worse than it was, or just totally lying. Yeah. As a result, most people don't want to be around you. Exactly. Most people would rather believe a lie than believe the truth. That is why the Most High God tells you not to even entertain a person who gossips, a person that runs to you with gossip, because most of the time those are half-truths or not the truth at all. But like my mom used to say, a dog that will bring a bone will most definitely carry a bone. Meaning that person that brought you that gossip will definitely be carrying some gossip back to someone else about you. And just wait. Hold tight. That ship is going to come in. If y'all don't know, the reference to a ship coming in that's how merchants knew that they were going to be rich, when they seen their ship finally coming in. So anyway, I'm out, and much, much love.